The crisis started happening everywhere.
You didn't know quite what to do or what 1 minute was going to bring from the next.
Nobody said anything because farmers just didn't talk to farmers about their business.
My way of life was being taken away from me. And the way it was being taken away was what bothered me the most. And when I found out there was ways to challenge it, I did.
In the late 70s, the government said, plant fence row to fence row, we'll export it. Being good farmers, they did. They planted fence row to fence row.
Farmers were not only encouraged, but almost mandated to get bigger or get out. That's what their neighbors were doing, and that's what farmers felt they had to do.
Farming has always been a capital-intensive business, and many people live year to year on loans from the bank. But many of those banks back then operated on goodwill and collateral that was land.
It's not unlike the mortgage crisis. They were given opportunities to borrow that really were not in line with reality.
Everybody said land never goes down in value. Well, it did.
It was beginning to get out of kilter. We were starting to see news reports about farm sales. And there were foreclosures. They weren't just selling, there were foreclosures. The United States was losing 2,100 farm families a week. That's how many we were losing every week.
When a farmer loses the farm, it's not just the farm they lose their home. And in many cases, hundreds of years of someone living on that land farming. It's such a blame that you feel and such a weight.
Tens and hundreds of thousands of farmers faced dispossession and were sinking into poverty. Faced with that circumstance, a few people completely on their own initiative, without any obvious models, decided that they could learn enough to fight back.
I was 19, 20 years old. I was just out of high school when all of the farm crisis started. My mom, she was the school principal. It was a small community and she knew everybody. They started gathering at the house, and next week maybe 20 showed up. Within a month, 60, 70 people showed up from the surrounding counties.
I got up and I was the person who made the first confession. Things were rough. I set the next meeting date up, and we invited the businessmen, the bankers, the judge, everybody, anyone who wanted to come. It was an open meeting to make a community go. We depend on each other. We have to have each other. And unless you listen and help us, we'll all go down.
From that point on, Mom was on the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They tried to shelter us from a lot of it, but it got too big, too fast, and too wild. She just hang the phone up and put her face in our hands and just start crying. Lost another one, you know.
both of you. How in the world are you?
Well, you can tell we're still here. I always wanted to farm. If you asked me when I was a first grader, well, I'm going to farm. So I didn't have a plan B to back up onto. You have no idea how much you've done for us. Mm-hmm. You remember them nights we talked till 4 o'clock in the morning? Molly, I got another letter today. And, and get through it and walk through it.
I can't help but cry, and I'm sorry. But you know,
it's tears of joy now.
It is. It's tears of joy. I am so proud of what you all have done, and a lot of people have done that. But by the same token, 4 times that many have gone under.